The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has disclosed that the country currently spends $600 million monthly on fuel imports. He attributed the high cost of it to neighboring countries, extending to Central Africa, benefiting from the nation's fuel imports. Edun shared this information during a television interview where he explains that this situation was a key factor in President Bola Tinubu's decision to remove the fuel subsidy, as the country lacks precise data on domestic fuel consumption. According to a report by the National Bureau of Statistics, the country's petrol import was reduced to an average of 1 billion liters monthly after President Bola Tinubu removed the fuel subsidy on May 29 last year. Now, he said the fuel subsidy was removed May 29, 2023 by President, and at the time, the poorest of 40% was only getting 4% of the value, and basically they were not benefiting at all. So it was going to just a few people. Now, after another point is that he thinks it's important that nobody knows the consumption in Nigeria of petroleum. We know we spend $600 million to import fuel every month, but the issue here is that all the neighboring countries are benefiting. So we are buying not just for Nigeria, but we are buying for countries to the east, almost as far as Central Africa, North and West Africa. And so we have to ask ourselves as Nigerians, how long do we want to do that for? And that is the key issue regarding the issue of petroleum pricing. Now, he emphasized that the welfare of Nigerians remained a key priority for the current administration, particularly ensuring food availability and affordability. I'd like to come to you first, Madu. You know, you were referring to this story before I caught you the other time.
Yes. The first of instance is the political will, like I mentioned earlier, that there is no time better than this for this to be done, because they have tried over time. Several presidents have done different ways of removing the subsidy, yet we did not achieve anything. So now that we have gotten to this stage, and thank God the president has addressed us after the first or second day of the protest, and from that address, he's not going back from the subsidy removal. Therefore, thank God we read it here. People are listening and they also heard. You are spending for Nigeria according to the financial record, but those who are benefiting are more than Nigerians. Or are we spending for those of our country, our citizens that are residing in those countries? If we are spending for them, then let's know.
Obviously not.
So if we're not spending because of the fact that they are residing there, we are spending for those who are living in Nigeria, consuming the product in Nigeria. The subsidy must be stopped. Look at the amount mentioned. $600 million monthly. And we are not the one using it alone. Assuming this fund is meant for only Nigeria, then we would have known the impact on us. For the fact that government cannot even keep statistics of what happened. I'm not the one saying it. They said they don't have the statistical data of the number of importation and the number of persons using it. And when you don't have record of anything, you try to have the record, it's difficult. You try to get it, difficult, you stop. Maybe after stoppage, now you will not be able to have the record. Now that they've stopped, nobody is knowing. They don't bother about it again, because the fund is no longer spent. The fund is no longer spent, according to them. The fund is no longer spent, unless they are saying that they are continuing spending the fund. So the subsidy removal is good for us, so that we know that it's only Nigeria that are paying for themselves.
Ambassador.
Well, I think they said the elders don't lie, and the leaders don't also lie. Hence, I would have wondered where the federal government will come to the public domain, the person who represented the government, to say, we don't know who and who is benefiting from these supplies. What then is the work of NDPRO? What then is the work, what do you call the work of NNPC? We have agencies that are responsible for marketing, for distribution of PMS and all of that. We have regulatory agencies. Is it that there is no record? So indirectly they are coming out to tell us that there is corruption, which every Nigerians we are feeling that the corruption is reducing, but government is still telling us that corruption is still on, which is our major problem. Now, when you want to talk about other African nations benefiting, but I used to hear Mr. President has gone to Ghana for a business talk. He has gone to, what do you call it, Côte d'Ivoire, whatsoever.
Economic summit.
Economic summit. Is it to always submit for Nigerians to always sustain the subsidy for the benefit of those African countries? Are they not generating revenues? If the petroleum product is beneficiary to them, is it wrong for Nigerian government to say, if it is lieutenant colonel or general, for those of them that have military government, or president this, the total amount of importing petroleum products, since we are not refining, is also so amount, because your country is also benefiting from it. Can we all share this money for subsidy? Because let us be our brothers keepers. So any nation that refuses to contribute, then you can deny them of the supply. Because now it has to do with economic survival now. It is also biting on us. So that the removal of subsidy will not also be a pain to our other neighboring countries. We are all Africans. We are one. So my own is, if we are actually even producing this thing, refining it, we have the product, the raw material, the crude, right? So if our petroleum industry is working well, our refineries are working, this money would have been saved.
Would we not even be distributing to these neighboring countries?
Yes, so we will not
selling to them.
Exactly.
Rather.
We'll be making better money and our economy will be getting better. So to wrap up the story, I want to say, Mr. President, that the removal of fuel subsidy is a wonderful idea. But the policies to cushion the effect, which you know from the very onset, is not working. We are not saying that removal of fuel subsidy is bad. We clapped hand for him. Like I said to anybody, that this one president that has demonstrated political will. We talked about the fuel subsidy. I mentioned here that during Jonathan's time, I was a member of the federal government team that, went for Rivers State, 10 per state, that organized town hall meeting appealing to Rivers people if subsidy should be removed or not. And the whole chorus across the nation was that subsidy should not be removed. So this is not the first time that Nigerians are saying that subsidy should not be removed because of the hard effects. Now it has been removed, but it's not working. So my appeal and suggestion is, what Nigerians need now, Mr. President, our governors, our local government chairmen, is not big roads. What we need to be alive before good big roads, big hospitals, big whatever will be completed for us to use. So I want to say, thank God there is local government autonomy. The local government chairman for now should concentrate on seeing how the villagers will feed. If they give you 250 million naira for your allocation as a local government chairman, at least 150 million should be channeled on food and welfare infrastructure. The governors of the state at this point in time, our IGRO and federal allocation, 60% should be used on food and welfare infrastructure. If we invest in the infrastructures that has to do with the food, economic survival of Nigerians, our states and our local government citizens, I can tell you we will be patient for these wonderful policies and programs of Mr. President to come up alive. So
for we food are and welfare, for food and welfare, what are you talking about? Agriculture, right? Investing in agriculture.
When you talk about investment right now, I don't want to agree with you. You're talking about giving farmers money to go and plant. It's somebody that have fed, that have food in his stomach that will go to farm.
That's why I want you to break that
I'm
down.
talking about if the local government chairman, state governors, we have different communities. If what we need right now is rice, gari, we need money. Share food items, share money
palliatives.
to not just palliative, my sister.
Food items.
Not just food items. Money is involved.
Okay, you're trying to say they should distribute money to the members of their local
communities.
The communities.
Governors, 60% of our allocation should go to indigenes, how to feed, how to survive. Share the money to them, give them food so that they can survive.
I knew that was where you were going to, but you kept saying
I don't miss what about
I said,
that.
oh God, break it down. You are saying they should give us money, Abi.
Give
share
us
money
food,
to
share
everybody.
money to for now.
Okay, all right.
Let's survive and wait
I know
for the
that man
programs
is
and
eager to add to
policies.
that. Well, we have to go on break. Yes,
No problem.
30 seconds.
Okay, you see the issue of palliative. In my experience, I've been in government. I'm still in government. In my experience, if federal government, state government, or local government bring palliative, the highest we go to a community should be like 1 bag. 5 bags of rice. How would they share it?
5 bags of rice
I'm
to
telling you from
one
experience.
community.
Yes, I'm telling you from experience.
Yes, that's true because somebody mentioned
So how would they share
how
it?
in his community they were sharing cups of rice and he got 2 cups and people said, you even got more. Some of us go 1 cup of rice.
How would it be shared?
It's because of what is invested in the palliative is pretty small. If we have agreed, I always say...
You're saying pretty small. If they tell you the amount that was invested...
I always said that no governor should tell me we don't have money for people's welfare. Because it's our money. No governor has the right to tell our citizens how their money must be used. If we are dying of hunger and we are telling you now that suspend gigantic roads, don't be coming out to tell you that we must have road. Who are you?
But do you agree that all the times that, maybe not all the time, but most of the time that palliatives have been distributed in Nigeria,
if
we
it
keep hearing stories of it being diverted?
My dear sister, if we agree that so amount of money will be shared, so bags of rice will be bought. We have town hall meetings most times. We have agreed as a local government that this month so amount of money is coming to our local government. And this is what we want to do with it. We set up committees and then we know that what is coming to our community, everybody knows. State governor, this is how much you are going to send to different local government. Local government, we have agreed. So if you now go and loot that money, community can burn down your house. There should be jungle justice.
We will never call for jungle justice here on TV. But thank you so much.
It's on the extreme anyway. It will not get to that level.
Yes, it will not get to that
I
level.
believe our leaders will be responsible.
All right, let's go on a short break, just a few minutes, and when we come back, we'll talk about the End Bad Governance protest. Please stay with us.